violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
504, a Subway restaurant worker was shot and killed, and another is in surgery this Monday morning. Police say a customer didn't like how the workers made the sandwich. Investigators say the shooting was all over too much mayonnaise.
Wow. And these super gremlins will kill you over condiments. Over condiments, y'all. These super hungry gremlins are on demon time.
You can believe that. Channel 2's Justin Carter is live at the scene downtown on Northside Drive. Justin, the owners say the victims, they were model employees.
Fred, I mean, it's just unbelievable. It kind of makes you shake your head. Yeah, the owners told us that it was two young ladies who were shot all over making a sandwich for someone. One of them lost their life. Let's set the scene for you. Here's the scene right now. You can still see caution tape surrounding this building. Obviously, it's closed right now. There's also bullets in the front entranceway of this restaurant. Now, police say this is just senseless, and whoever did this will be caught. Subway co-owner Willie Glenn says he is stunned and heartbroken.
It just breaks my heart to know that someone has the audacity to point a weapon and shoot someone for as little as too much mayonnaise on a sandwich.
It happened here around 6:30 Sunday at this Subway restaurant on Northside Drive in downtown Atlanta. Investigators on scene collecting evidence, trying to figure out why someone would do this.
What you're seeing behind me is the result of a tragedy, senseless tragedy that we've seen numerous times throughout the year, where an argument leads to gunfire, and now we have someone dead.
Yeah, and Atlanta is on fire right now, as you guys can see. You got people shooting people over too much mayo on a sandwich. They're not letting up.
Over mayonnaise. You can see where the bullets pierced through the front of this restaurant. Al Robinson is also a co-owner and says the victims were very young and star employees.
You pull out a gun and just shoot somebody over a sandwich? That's ridiculous. My heart just breaks right now.
Over a sandwich, yes, ridiculous. Police say arguments that escalate into gunfire is one of the leading causes of homicide so far in the city this year. Now, the victims' identities have not yet been released. And what police are saying about the suspect in this case, we'll have that part of the story. It's coming up in the next half hour, Fred.
Justin, so many folks have gone by this area not far from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. A life lost over a sandwich, another life in jeopardy because of it. People just need to calm down and relax a bit, all right?
What type of people?
Thank you very much.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Breaking right now at noon, Atlanta police provide a major update in a deadly overnight shooting. Somebody shot and killed a woman who, according to police, had put too much mayonnaise on a sandwich. This happened at a Subway on Northside Drive. CBS 46's Tori Cooper is joining us live right now. She's at that Subway restaurant. Really unbelievable.
They both cold.
Unbelievable.
Gravier, and this story continues to develop. The Atlanta Police Department just confirmed with us they have made an arrest in this shooting that took place here at the Subway along Northside Drive around 6 p.m. last night. They say a community member tip led them to the suspect.
The gun violence here in Atlanta is at an outrage.
That's Gerald Rose, the leader of the New Order National Human Rights Organization.
I'm asking all young people to put down the pistols, pick up the pencils.
Rose spoke out Monday about the ongoing senseless.
If they put down the pistols and pick up the pencils, who's to say they won't start stabbing each other with pencils?
Violence happening in Metro Atlanta after Atlanta police say a Subway employee was shot to death over a sandwich.
Believe it or not, it was over too much mayonnaise on his sandwich. And so he decided to escalate the situation.
Willie Glenn is the co-owner of the Subway on Northside Drive. He says to take a life over a sandwich is unfathomable.
I don't know what the world is coming to, especially with our youth. They just seem to be so hot-headed these.
Emotional, you know. They're having these emotional reactions raised by their single mothers, and they lash out the way that their moms lash out at them, except we all know that young boys can be a lot more violent, and this is how they take out their aggression. Like I said before, sisters, come get your kids.
These days, everybody wants to carry a gun. Everybody wants to scare somebody with a gun. It's just, it's scary out here.
He says the customer shot 2 of his employees. One of them died and the other is now in the hospital. He says the manager on duty, who was armed with a gun of his own, attempted to stop the shooter.
My manager was able to exchange gunfire with him, but of course, you know, he didn't hit him. It kind of ended up as a wild shootout here in the parking lot.
Glenn says the gun violence in Metro Atlanta is getting out of control.
There's just a whole lot of shooting and killing going on, and this was just ridiculous. My heart right now is with my employees.
Back live now, you can see one of the employees is still in the subway cleaning up what happened last night. You can see the window is also boarded up. Now, the Atlanta Police Department also just provided some additional information into who these victims were who were inside this subway. The Atlanta Police Department tells us the victim who was shot and killed was a 26-year-old woman, and the other employee was a 24-year-old woman who had her 5-year-old child inside at the time. Now,
wow. And these brothers don't care. These super gremlins, rather. They're not out here protecting black women. They're enacting full-on assaults against black women. And the same black women will go out and protest for these thugs. Protest for guys like Rayshard Brooks, Jacob Blake, George Floyd, and a whole host of others.
Now, the victim who did survive, who is in the hospital, police tell us right now she is in critical condition. Police were very tight-lipped about the other details pertaining to the suspect, but again, they really mentioned how this really was a community tip that led them to the suspect, and they are planning on releasing more details later on. We're going to continue to follow this, and we'll share the very latest with you right here. Reporting live here in Northwest Atlanta, I'm Tori Cooper, CBS 46 News.
Wow, Tori.
It just breaks my heart to know that someone has the audacity to point a weapon and shoot someone for as little as too much mayonnaise on a sandwich.
Too much mayo on a sandwich. That's the reason why Willie Glenn says 2 of his employees were shot and one of them is dead. It happened around 6:30 Sunday night inside this Subway restaurant on Northside Drive in downtown Atlanta. Glenn would not release the identities of the employees because he's still waiting for family members to be informed, but he did tell me both employees were young women, and they just started about 3 weeks ago.
They've just model employees.
Channel 2 was the only news crew here at the scene as Atlanta police collected evidence. I was the only reporter to talk to police about this senseless shooting.
What you're seeing behind me is the result of a tragedy, senseless tragedy that we've seen numerous times throughout the year, where an argument leads to gunfire, and now we have someone dead. And when we learned the reason for this argument, which was too much mayonnaise on a sandwich, that an individual felt his response to that would be to fire, into this business. This is the challenge that we are against in law enforcement right now.
Al Robinson, also a co-owner of this Subway restaurant, says this is just too much.
You pull out a gun and just shoot somebody over a sandwich? That's ridiculous. My heart just breaks right now.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.